Welcome to this week's Rise with Michelle. Today is the in between where the rising begins. If your life feels unfamiliar right now, like the old version of you no longer fits, but the new version has not fully arrived, then this conversation is for you. That space can feel so unsettling. It can feel exhausting, confusing, but it's not the breakdown. It is what we call the in between. And that is where the rising actually begins. Most people think something has gone wrong when they reach this place. They feel tired in a way that does not fix. They feel disconnected from themselves. They notice that the strategies that used to work no longer do. They feel stretched between who they were and who they are becoming. So, what is actually happening is not failure. This is an identity shift. The version of you that was built for survival can no longer carry the life you are being asked to live. And when that happens, everything can feel unstable, even when nothing looks wrong on the outside. And this is usually where the word surrender shows up. And I want to pause here because surrender can mean different things to different people. So when I talk about surrender, I'm not talking about religion as a rule book or a belief system you have to adopt. I am talking about the internal act of letting go of who I thought I had to be in order to survive. And for me personally, surrender has also meant surrendering myself to a higher power. And in my life, I call that God. That relationship has been grounding and deeply personal. It is part of my story, but it is not something I place on anyone else. What matters here is not the name you use, but the release itself. Surrender is the moment you stop forcing control and you allow something greater than your fear, your conditioning, or your old identity to lead. Whether you call that God, intuition, truth, inner wisdom, source, surrender is about trust. Trusting that you do not have to hold everything together. Surrender is not a collapse, it's an alignment. It is the return of honesty, the doorway into becoming who you really are. And for many people, the in between is also the moment they begin to notice the mask they've been wearing, not because they were fake, but because they adapted. You learned how to read the room. You learned how to adjust your tone. You learned how to manage yourself depending on who you were with. You learned how to be strong, agreeable, responsible, flexible, even quiet. And over time, that performance became automatic. You stopped noticing how much energy it actually required. You stopped noticing how much of yourself you were monitoring. You stopped noticing how hypervigilant your nervous system had become. Living like this turns you into a chameleon in your own life. You scan for expectations. You anticipate reactions. You brace before speaking. You carry the emotional temperature of the room. Eventually, you forget who you are when you are not performing. I know because I was that person. There's a level of self-management that is exhausting. It fragments your identity. It disconnects you from your own voice. And that is often what brings people into the in-between in the first place. Awakening is not becoming someone new. It is the integration of everything you had to split off to survive. Those parts, the strong part, the quiet part, the vigilant part, the part that learned control was safety, the part that stayed small to keep the peace. These parts are not your problems, they are your protectors. But when they run your life, you stay stuck in survival. Awakening happens when those parts no longer have to lead, when they are seen, honored, and integrated instead of pushed away. This is when things begin to soften. You stop bracing, you stop scanning, you stop performing. You begin responding instead of reacting. You begin speaking without rehearsing. You begin living from alignment instead of fear. This is not a collapse. This is clarity. And this is the work I guide people through inside the R.I.S.E framework. Reclaiming identity, inspiring possibility, strengthening the nervous system, empowering authentic living. It is not about fixing yourself. It is about remembering who you are underneath the mask. And it is not rushed. It is integrated. It is lived. So if this resonates, the R.I.S E Tribe All Access is where we explore this work together. It is a space for anyone navigating the in-between and ready to release old performance identities, integrate their parts, and rise into who they truly are. You will find the link in the description or just simply comment R.I.S E. And before I close, I want to share something that I'm really excited about. My new book, Awakening Truth Be Told, is coming soon. And in this book, I talk openly about surrender, both the surrender of old identities and the surrender of myself to a higher power. In my case, that relationship again is with God. I also write in a way that honors personal experience, not pressure or doctrine. The book explores identity, healing, the in-between, and what happens when you stop performing and start becoming. So if this conversation resonates with you, the book will take you deeper. So be sure to subscribe so you receive notifications and know when it officially releases. I cannot wait to share more with you. So until next time, same space, same heart. And remember, you are not broken. You are in the in-between and you're still rising.